Hello guys, NautoAce here, and I want to give my thoughts on the Xbox and Bethesda Games Showcase of 2022. And of course, no surprise, they showcase a lot of first-party games. Remember, Microsoft bought Bethesda years ago, so a lot of those games are going to be Xbox Series XS exclusive. So future Doom, future Fallout, future games from Todd Howard, whatever that's owned by ZeniMax will be on the Xbox ecosystem. Whether you like it or not, it is what it is. And I did talk about it before that with watching from Microsoft, a lot of these games you're probably going to see. Imagine if they're still doing it by themselves. Imagine that Starfield with their own budget. It's probably going to run like crap. It's probably going to be running on a potato frame rate, if you know what I mean. So it kind of makes sense of why they had to basically bought out to Microsoft. I'm going to give my thoughts on the games that caught my eye. So yes, mostly for this showcase was first party, but there are some third party games, such as, well, they finally revealed Hollow Knight's Silk Song. So I heard about this game. The first one came out in 2017. It is a Metroidvania type game. You're a bug in a bug world, but it's a Metroidvania. A lot of people like it. I heard it's really good. And there was a story about Silk Song, either a sequel or an expansion to the first game. And then after a while, it went to incognito due to development problem, of course, the pandemic. So there were a lot of rumor that this might be a Switch and PC exclusive. Either Nintendo's helping them fund the game, or it's just easier to develop on the Switch, and then they'll probably make it multi-platform in the long run. Who knows? However, it was revealed that it will be not only on the Switch and PC, it will also be on the Xbox Series XS. It's also going to be on Game Pass day one. So a lot of this game that they showcase are going to be day one on Game Pass. So there's your reason again to subscribe to Game Pass, because they did talk about this before, how some subscribers are complaining that, oh my god, there's no games on Game Pass, which is okay. I mean, that's your opinion, but that's a different story there. So speaking of Game Pass, is that Riot Games are now available on the Windows game. So they are free-to-play games, they are PC games, but now you have an option to use Microsoft Windows Architect for the Riot games. So some of them are going to be on Windows, some of them is going to be on mobile games. So not in a console, so at least there's your option. So again, more reason to kind of get Game Pass. Unless you're a person who buys a lot of games and backlog, but that's a different story there. But again, props to Riot Games there. So the next one, I said, yeah, that's sort of interesting. I prefer the arcade edition style, and that is Forza Motorsports Xbox Series XS edition. So they finally showed the latest one, their Gran Turismo. Hopefully it'll be a friendlier ecosystem than Gran Turismo 7, because a lot of people, including RG85, is, crying and pouty about it. I mean, you can't blame them, but you get the idea. But for what it is, it looks beautiful. So I'm going to assume that this is not going to be an Xbox One. And also starting to 2023, there are probably no more games going to be on the Xbox One. They're done. Maybe third party to some extent, but first party game, they're moving to the Xbox Series XS. I mean, this makes sense. It's been 2 years. Yes, the pandemic kind of screwed it, but it is what it is there. So, by the way, before I continue, Phil Spencer also said a lot of these games that they showcase are 12 months in the future. So that means whatever they're going to show from June of 2022 to, I'm going to guess, June of 2023, all this game going to be released. So a year from now. So anyway, again, like I said, beautiful there. So the next one that I know a lot of people don't like this game, Flight Simulator 48th Anniversary. So again, exclusive to the Series XS, also in Windows. Probably you need a very, very high-end PC for this. Yeah, so a lot of this Flight Simulator game, the name is so, it's there. So it is supposedly that kind of show you how to fly a plane. That's really it. Because believe it or not, at one point they shut this down because it was a free-to-play. I know, surprisingly, there was Microsoft Flight Simulator for games for Windows Live free-to-play. It's a free-to-play game. You get some basic plane, just fly around, and believe it or not, it even runs on Windows XP. But this was a long time ago. So yeah, so a lot of people say this is not worth it or a exclusive Xbox Series XS game because this is not a fun game. Well, to each of their own, but that's what the game is. So they showed new planes, historical planes that have been displayed, Smithsonian Museum, so historical plane, like especially the Wright brothers. But in the end of the trailer, they also show you get to pilot the Pelican, the ship from Halo. So again, crossover. Remember, in one of the Forza Horizon game, you can drive as the Warthog, so you can see there. So moving from there is, and again, this one still, they're not yet bought by Microsoft, and that is Overwatch 2. So it's finally been revealed, confirmed. I mean, it was already been talked, but finally, Overwatch 2 is now going to be released this October. And to some extent, the best part here is they're going to make it free to play. So free to play there. So that's good. So because, you know, the game, how it works. I mean, I can't play it. I mean, the concept behind the characters, the lore, it could be interesting. But to some extent, I'm not a first-person fan. I have tried it on the Switch with thanks to the Nintendo Switch Online. And I got bored. I said, yeah, screw it. It's not my thing. So whatever. They showed some new characters again. There, if you're an Overwatch fan, there you go, finally. So the next one that I am interested, Forza Horizon 5, the Hot Wheel DLC. So the last time they did this was part 3, according to Spawnwave. Again, Hot Wheel, you even have those Hot Wheel tracks, cool, interesting about that one. So another one, real quick, Scorn, I don't really give a shit about it. It's first-person adventure shooter. But why am I talking about Scorn? Because I just want to say this game is disgusting. It's very gross. Gross and disgusting. Gross. So the next one, sort of I'm keeping an eye on to some extent. Minecraft Legends. So it's a spin-off to the Minecraft game. You saw me talk about Minecraft Steve for Smash, and I did a showcase on my third channel trying to play Minecraft, and I have no idea what I'm doing. Minecraft Legend is sort of a strategic Minecraft game. So you're a character that leads some army fighting against some pig army. So I don't know what the lore about that one. So my question is, do you build stuff to some extent? Like, do you need to build buildings, weapon, whatever? Because if it is, then this game kind of reminds me of, believe it or not, Dragon Quest. So believe it or not, Dragon Quest, even so a spin-off, it's not so much a RPG, heck, an action RPG. It is a building simulator with an RPG element. Like, the story mode is an RPG, but the game itself is you create your own Dragon Quest world using blocks. So if that's the case, hey, you know, interesting there. So the next one, another one, I have played the previous game, and that is Diablo 4. Yes, so they finally revealed Diablo 4, and again, right now, it's still Activision Blizzard, so they're not owned by Microsoft yet. However, there are now key people that are involved with Blizzard, such as Ron Ferguson. I think the guy used to work for Epic, and then now the coalition. Now, I guess, something for the temporary, I don't know. He's also working now with Blizzard for it. So, because you know the history about it, but that's a different story there. I already talked about it. So anyway, Diablo 4, 2023. PS5, Series XS, and PC. Makes sense. So you might say, well, what about the Switch? Well, unless Nintendo finally have their 4K powerful Switch Pro, I'm gonna guess if you put Diablo 4 there, it's probably gonna run like freaking Game & Watch frames. So you don't want that, right? Do you? Or you just want the game there? Whatever. So they showed a new class, the Necromancer again. If it goes cheap, I'll buy it. I'll buy it cheap because I'm not really a Diablo fan. Heck, I'm not even a Blizzard fan. I mean, most of it, I don't really give a shit about their game. Nothing personal. Again, my opinion. You know, kind of like what Dreamcast guy said. My opinion. So anyway, moving from that one, this was a bit interesting for me. An action RPG is set in this weird world. They're all blocks and pixel, and it's called Ravenlock. So for what it is, I don't know. There's a girl that went to this world through a mirror, and then everyone there is blockish. Weird, but it is what it is there. But again, you know, options there, so it might be interesting. We'll just have to wait and see what it is. So the next one that I say, oh wow, from the people of Tecmo Koei Team Ninja, Wulong the Fallen Dynasty. So I'm gonna assume it's Dark Soul Dynasty Warriors. So there was already a Japanese Dark Soul Samurai Warrior, which is called Neo, and it was exclusive for the PlayStation. I know it's weird there, so I'm gonna assume this one's gonna be only on the current gen, Xbox Series XS, PlayStation 5, PC. So like I said, a lot of the games that they showed are day one on Game Pass. Because remember, as of right now, Sony can't do it. They are doing some certain game. One of them is Stray, that cat meets robot game, will be day one on the PlayStation Premium. But again, a lot of this game are day one. And I'm gonna give a different thoughts about this on a different video, because it's not that easy. That's why a lot of people talk about XYZ game is not there. You have to convince the company behind it if they're willing to do it. Again, what people don't know, Game Pass is not making Microsoft money to some extent. So again, but yeah, so interesting. Dynasty Warrior meet Dark Soul. So another one finally that a lot of people probably ask Phil Spencer time and time again about this, and to add Japanese franchise in the Xbox. Yes, you've been noticing some of this Japanese game. Again, I'm a PlayStation preferred person, so I'm already kind of safe in that one, so I'm already covered. Is that a lot of this game are never been in the Xbox, and I gotta give credit to a lot of people, including Player Essence, and said the reason is in Japan itself they don't sell. Xbox, whether you like it or not, to some extent don't sell well. Yeah, it kind of did some good sale to some extent, but in general it's not. And not a lot of the Japanese consumer buy it on the Xbox, so there's no point. Outside, yes. So the solution is you have to outsource it to someone who can port it. So again, who knows about that one? So yeah, so why am I talking about Japanese franchise on the Xbox? Because Phil Spencer now baby step. There are some Japanese games such as Octopath Traveler, the Yakuza, Judgment, Dragon Quest, Final Fantasy, you name it. To some extent, they do have finally bringing Japanese game on the Xbox ecosystem. It's just not on the day of release like the PlayStation, but at least you have the option there, because finally, credit to Atlas, they're going to release 3 Persona games for the Xbox ecosystem. Persona 3 Portable, Persona 4 Golden, and Persona 5 Royal, which are the enhanced version. Well, maybe not so much with Persona 3 Portable, because I think from what I understand, a lot of people did say that they rather have Persona 3 Fez, which is a PlayStation 2 exclusive. So that's probably why they couldn't do it to some extent. I don't know, maybe it's a PS2 game and that's like way old. The bottom line is they're finally gonna release them. So Persona 5 Royal will be released this October. Persona 3 Portable and Persona 4 Golden, especially that's a good game, I can see why. It's gonna be released in 2023. So a lot of comment I see is, oh man, I hope it's gonna be released on the Switch, hopefully. First of all, well, if you're trying to put on your tinfoil hat, probably. But the bottom line is, at least they're now putting it on another console. So the Nintendo-tubers are concerned, oh, it's not going to come in the Switch. How come you're not announcing it on the Switch? I mean, common sense for Atlas that they are going to port it. Maybe they're trying to figure out how to port this to the other console. Again, I don't know. I'm not a developer. So, but these games, they're not that demanding to put on another console. They're eventually probably going to be put on another console. Remember, from what I understand, again, I could be wrong, that this fall in September, there's supposed to be another Persona event coming. If I'm wrong, apologies in advance. And you never know. Maybe they'll say, hey, guess what? Persona 3 going to be on the PlayStation Switch. Persona 4 Golden. Persona 5 The Royal is probably going to be in the Switch. I mean, Let's just hope it can run on the Switch and they're not gonna go cloud version, but you never know. And then Persona 6. That's the question a lot of people are now thinking. Will Persona 6 gonna be multi-platform for the first time, or will it still be PlayStation exclusive? Who knows? And whatever happens, you're gonna see people like, oh, this sucks, oh, this is awesome, whatever their opinion is. But the bottom line is, at least Atlas is putting some of their games now on the Xbox console. Yes, there is one, Soul Hacker 2. It's not on the Switch, which again, my guess probably is power behind it. I don't know if it can run or not. Who knows? Who knows? I don't know. Anyway, another one is Microsoft Studios will team up with Kojima Production because it's finally announced. Yeah, there have been rumors behind it. You gotta give credit to Jeff Grubb because he heard about it. Kojima Production will have some sort of horror game exclusive to Microsoft. And again, you say, why? Why is it not multi-platform? Why not Sony? Kojima Production is an independent developer. When it came to Death Stranded, Sony helped them fund the game. And the engine they use is the one from Guerrilla, the Horizon engine, so you kind of see there why. This game's going to be funded by Microsoft. Kind of makes sense there. So you just have to wait and see what it is. It'll be a long time. So, of course, I'm not interested with this because I don't really give a shit about Bethesda games, but worth mentioning, they finally showed some gameplay with Starfield. It's basically Fallout, Elder Scroll in space. You know how those type of games with Todd Howard. So again, if you're a fan of Todd Howard's game, there it is. I mean, right now a lot of people are worried because some of the gameplays, like the frame rate, is like shit. Again, who knows? You just have to give it time. Remember, it's not gonna come until 2023. So give them time. Maybe it'll be worth it. Remember, they got Microsoft Papa money. So again, you cannot see there. So just have to wait and see. So before closing the Xbox showcase, so they did also do the extended one, and as expected, Aaron Greenberg even already said that they're only going to showcase games that they already mentioned on the presentation, just more in depth. Makes sense, so that's what it is. Unfortunately, the games they showed didn't really interest me to some extent, so I didn't really watch it that much. I did just scan it through some of the clips, and yeah, unfortunately, like I said, nothing for me there, but at least they're giving more info about it. So the only concern really, like I said, is, and because I was watching also, credit to Xander Scully, and he did a video about graphic matter in video game. Yeah, to some extent, especially when you're looking at Starfield, how much are they going to sell that game for $60? Right now, the way a lot of people said is, it's a No Man's Sky game. It's just Elder Scroll with guns in space. And I did play No Man's Sky, and I have no idea what I'm doing with that game there. But, I mean, credit for the third-person mode, like I said, now with Resident Evil Village, but to some extent, again, who knows? Who knows about it? But yeah, as expected, the extended one it's just more talks about existing game. But again, more info is always good. So hopefully, especially with the Starfield, not for me, but for the fans who were anticipating for this game, it better be worth the delay, and that it'll be really enjoyable because it's going to be a Series X and Windows. That's it. It's not going to be on the PS5. And there's no last gen for this game because that's going to be a problem. But that's to some extent, their games are buggy, but with Papa Microsoft money, maybe it'll get better. Who knows then? So, yes. So anyway, those are my thoughts. Is it exciting than the State of Play? Probably not, because for me, not a lot of Japanese gaming. I love those. I like Japanese franchise game more than US games. Sorry, just my opinion. And most of them, I really don't give a shit about what they showed. So now, the question is, Sony already did theirs, and it was awesome. Microsoft's just meh. What about Nintendo? Will they do a Nintendo Direct? Some say no. Some say yes. Somewhere in June, maybe July, maybe they won't do it. Whatever happened, because the result is there's going to be some reaction drama. Let's just say that. So anyway, I'll see you guys later.